So Samsung had its latest event, launching all of its new generation foldable phones, the Flip 4 and the Fold 4. Wanted to touch on that because although it seems more of an iterative update, it seems like they refined it and made it look a little nicer and whatnot. There was apparently some design in updates in there that if there are issues with repairs or fixing screens, that they're cheaper and all this sort of thing. But I just did want to touch on this just to start with because, I think we talked about foldable phones before, and there isn't really anything here that's sort of grabbing me, like to the point of transitioning to it full time, for instance. It's funny in assessing these two phones that I'm actually more attracted to the Flip for some reason. I don't know whether it's because it's kind of got that old school kind of thing with the flip phone or whatever. And there's some interesting updated features with the use of the cover phone, so you can have it, in its half size closed mode and use like the 4K cameras, like sort of in a recording vlogging view if that's something you wanted to do, or I guess you could probably do video calls without opening up the phone or something. And I just find that kind of interesting. But for me, the Fold 4 just still seems like this cumbersome brick that you're taking around, and despite the fact that it's really well engineered and all of that. And I think in its open form with on the bigger screen, that's actually quite an interesting device at that size. I just find when it's closed and you've got the big sort of front panel screen, that feels like a very thick phone to use in that manner. But anyway, I don't know what you think about that.
Well, I've said before, I've got my friend's got the Fold, and it looks like a funny shaped sandwich when he pulls it out. I love the functionality of it, and I think, as you said, these iterations of the folding devices, they are getting a little bit better every time, a little bit more robust. They're trying to encourage people by dropping the price on fixing the screens. So there must be some issues there for hard users or people who use their phones in fairly rough environments. So it's completely understandable, I guess, of where they're at. But I think the real issue is still the aspect ratio of the screen. And to make the functional folding screen, you need what we would consider a strange shape compared to a normal phone. And that, and the fact they still haven't got the thickness down, just makes the phone look weird. But watching my friend use his folding phone, he loves it. It looks really functional. It's great when he opens it up and shows me some images, and I don't have to squint, I guess, because it's effectively on a mini tablet. So I think we're getting there, but it might be another 3 or 4 years, I think, before I'd consider buying one.
One other thing I wanted to mention was the internet does as it does, and was like saying Apple has to release one now before they get left behind. And again, the usual clickbait material. Well, one, I don't think Apple's in any trouble anytime soon, but as always, as historical precedent is concerned, that if Apple were to release a folding iPhone, for instance, they're not going to do it until they can show that it's done the best, or what they consider to be the best, which, at this rate, even given the timeline you just mentioned, we might not see one from Apple, if at all, for, another 3 or 4 years anyway.
Well, that's right. I mean, Apple still haven't got a touch screen on their laptop. But as we all know, I had an HP with a touch screen and used the touch screen on the laptop for the first 90 minutes and then haven't used it again for the last 2 years.